Hi everyone, my name is Brenda, and I have a very interesting gift. I can tell the difference between truth and falsehood by smell alone.
How is that even possible, lady? What's going on, fellow human beings? It is Darocky here. Today I'm bringing you an animated story about someone who can smell if someone's lying or telling the truth. I don't even know how that works, but I guess we'll find out in just a second.
You would probably think that this feature can help a lot, but it also has the other side of the coin. It all started in early childhood. It was then that I noticed that when communicating with other people, I was often haunted by two smells. One was pleasant, reminiscent of lemon, and the second one made me sick because it smelled like rotten fish.
Are you sure you aren't talking about their breath? I'm pretty sure you're on something because I'm pretty sure you're just smelling their breath. Because some people's breath smells nice, some people smell like absolute trash cans. So I'm pretty sure that's what this means. But whatever, bro, let's just keep watching.
The smell didn't come from the people themselves. It somehow immediately appeared in my nose. Of course, at first, I thought that everyone just loves lemon and fish and doesn't brush their teeth after eating. But then I began to notice one pattern. The smells appeared when a person deliberately lied to me or told the truth. I realized this when my parents said that Santa Claus left gifts for me under the tree.
Hey, does anybody else parents that look like shadow demons? Or is that just me and her? Well, that's weird, bro. I really thought that everybody had shadow demons for parents, or anybody else that isn't themselves.
At that time, I was 10 years old, and I already knew that he did not exist. And after my parents' words about him, I felt that sickening smell of fish again. To be honest, at one time, I even enjoyed my gift. I felt special because I was able to do things that other people could only dream of.
It's not a special ability if you're smelling someone else's breath that literally everybody else can do unless they are nose blind. Like, literally anybody that can smell stuff will be able to smell other people's breath. This is not special.
It was useless to lie to me, and I took the person by surprise when he again
Or maybe this dude just needs to brush his teeth because his breath flippin' stinks.
directly in the eye. But I was very sad that my good friends often told me lies. One day, my friend Jenny said she would not be celebrating her birthday. And of course, I felt she was lying. A burning resentment appeared in my soul because she called all her friends, except me. At that moment, I was so angry that I decided to give Jenny an unpleasant surprise by unexpectedly showing up at her party.
Gosh, you aren't supposed to be here. What are you doing?
Well, you were lying to me.
Well, I never invited you.
Well, I'm gonna show up anyway because that's just the kind of person that I am.
Jenny turned white as chalk. Stuttering, she began to justify herself, and I could smell the lies again. I silently gave her the gift I had bought for her a long time ago and left. Because of my gift, I lost not only Jenny, but also many other friends. In adolescence, everyone tries to lie as much as possible.
Well, kid, everybody lies. Even your own best friends to you. And if you don't want to lose any friends, maybe stop calling them out and then just telling them I don't want to be friends anymore. Have you thought of that? I don't think you have.
To show their best side. I didn't fall for such cheap tricks, so my friends were not eager to communicate with me. Despite this, I did not show my peculiarity at school, and therefore had no problems communicating with my classmates. They liked to tell lies, but I reacted calmly to it because they were not my close friends. But everything changed when a new girl came to our class. I was the first to learn many details about her that shocked me. Inyit began to talk that she was a writer. I was ready to feel the smell of the lie, but it wasn't there, and neither was the sweet smell of the truth. At first,
Or maybe you're just sitting too far away from them to smell their breath. Lady, you need to stop thinking that you have special powers when you do not. People's breath just smells different. Depends on the person.
I was so confused that I began to tell her complete nonsense, confused in words. Inyit laughed good-naturedly and called me funny. Again, there were no smell after her words. At that moment, I was very afraid that I had lost my gift. At the break, I ran up to my friend Claire and asked about yesterday's date with her new boyfriend. She blushed and said that he had given her a small teddy bear, and I immediately got a pleasant lemon scent in my nose. I was in complete shock. Why do I smell some things on all people, but not with Inyit? Then, for the first time, I came across a person whose lie and truth could not be recognized. More than anything, I was afraid of losing my gift, so I spent the whole evening coming up with the most unusual questions for Inyit to make her absolutely lie. First of all, I asked her if she would give me her stories to read. Inyit replied that she rarely showed her books to anyone. I've heard such excuses many times before.
She must be her kryptonite because she can't pick up anything. Or maybe she just has a neutral smelling breath. I don't know. I would probably pick the most logical explanation, which would be that she has superpowers, but I don't know.
But what if it was true? I couldn't understand it, so I started asking her the strangest possible questions. When I got the answers, I was shocked. According to Inyit, she traveled around the world and even personally flew in a helicopter. She also said that she has a crocodile at home, her own yacht, and that she is hunting for UFOs. Listening to this, I almost cried because there were no smells of lies and truth anywhere. A new classmate began to frighten me seriously, and soon I realized why. Once, Inyit saw a collectible figurine of an Iron Man, which I somehow got for myself because only 100 of them were produced. Inyit told me that she also collects figures of Marvel heroes, and she had been trying for a long time to find just that Iron Man. I didn't think much of what she said until I noticed my figurine was missing. I was so enraged that I was ready to destroy the entire school in search of my treasure. Of course, I asked my classmates about the loss, but they all replied that they had not seen the figure. I believed them because the smell of lemon was in the air. But only one person was a blind spot for me, Inyit, and for some reason, I thought it was her doing. But I did not openly accuse her of stealing, but decided to go the other way. Once, she invited me to visit her to watch films and TV series, as well as read her books.
Bro, this must be Naruto's girlfriend. Just look at the similarities, dude. It's gotta be.
I imposed on her myself. Inyit was even somewhat confused and said that she would ask her parents for permission. At that moment, I felt like a winner because even without my gift, I seemed to be able to expose her.
How exactly would you expose her? Because she can't smell her breath? Oh, let me go on Instagram and say, this person I am about to expose, I'm exposing them because I cannot smell their breath and I have superpowers. Yeah, right. I don't know if you've heard of a little itty bitty thing called common sense, which I'm 99% sure you do not have, which was made very obvious from this video.
I was sure that Inyit would delay my visit as long as possible, so as not to get caught in a lie. But after only a couple of days, she still invited me to her house.
Oh, I don't know, maybe because she's not a jerk? Just because you can't smell somebody's breath, because you have quote-unquote superpowers, doesn't make them suspicious, just because you can't smell their dang breath. I don't know what you don't get about this. Okay, I have come to a definitive answer that she has been smoking crack.
On the way to her, I even turned on the camera on my smartphone and hid it, so that later I could show the liar's exposure to all my classmates. However, there was an incredible surprise waiting for me on the spot. It was a big, rich house, just like Inyit had said. When we went into the living room, I saw a huge terrarium with a crocodile in it. Then Inyit called me to her room, and there I was stunned. The walls were lined with shelves of handmade books, and the spines clearly showed Inyit's name. She said she aspires to be a successful science fiction writer as her parents. Besides, I noticed on the huge writing table photographs from the trip around the world, as well as a shelf with a collection of figurines, among which there was no Iron Man. Inyit saw my confusion. Of course, because of shame and annoyance, I wanted to sink into the ground. Unable to contain my emotions, I admitted that I thought she was a liar and instilled it in our classmates. I also told her that I suspected her of stealing because of the missing Iron Man. She just smiled and said that people constantly have the wrong opinion about her, since she sometimes says implausible things. Inyit added that she really often lies and says just outright nonsense, But it was easier for her because she trained her imagination for future stories. And also, Inyit looked at the reaction of people so as not to introduce some too shocking things into her works. Now I understood why I hadn't been able to tell whether she was lying or not all this time. If Inyit never chased a UFO in her life, then her heroine in the book, which she named after herself, constantly did. There was no clear line between truth and falsehood. After that day, we became friends, but the consequences of my accusations against Inyit did not go away without leaving a trace.
Of course people would get mad at you because you were just talking smack behind her back. What do you expect? I also happened to look at their About section on their channel, and let me read it out for you. Meet My Story is a channel full of real-life animated stories for everyone. Our viewers share their real-life stories with us, and we turn them into animation. First of all, that is very flawed because there's nothing real life about this. Pretending to have quote-unquote powers is not real life, okay? I'm sorry. Anyways, people, this is where I'm going to have to wrap up this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you later.